Hey y'all, it's me Hetty, and today we're going to be making cream potatoes. If you're looking for a different side dish, whether you sprinkle it with cheese or whatever, you're going to absolutely love them. Okay everybody, we're going to jump right into it. Alright, I have potatoes here. I'm finishing off a bag of potatoes I needed to use up. And this time I'm using Yukon Gold potatoes. I normally would just use Russets, it's just fine, but guess what? They have been looking really bad at the store. And Sam's hadn't even had any for over a month. So I'm using what I have, all right? So I've just cubed these up, as you can see, into nice bite-sized pieces. Not too small, because you want them to have some texture to them. You don't want them to just fall apart into almost lumpy mashed potatoes. All right, so in this stock pot, whoops, if I don't spill everything, and I may have to get a little more water, I'm probably going to add about another cup and a half of water or something like that. That's easy. Make sure you I peeled them, I cubed them, I soaked them in cold water for about, just cold tap water, for about in between 20 and 30 minutes. I was doing other things. All right, now, salt needs some potatoes. Wait, salt needs potatoes? So I've got right at just under a tablespoon of kosher salt. So, you know, it's not as concentrated as just regular salt. If you're using regular salt, you want to back that off maybe about to 2 teaspoons, because we're going to also salt when we're finishing up, okay? Salt and pepper. Okay, I got salt and water in there. I'm going to bring the induction burner over. All I'm going to do here is, obviously, I'm going to start it on high and bringing it up to a boil. When we get to that point, we'll go to the next step. It's going to probably need to cook for about, I don't know, depending on the amount of potatoes you're using is what it goes by. A lot of times, it's not exact science. That's why, you know, don't run off and go lay up on the phone, because you're going to end up with boiled mashed potatoes if you do, okay? There's a fine line to get them to where we want them. Fork tender. Then we're going to drain them so they can cool down. Okay, when this comes to a rolling boil, I'll come back. Alrighty, these have come to a boil. And FYI, I said this in the other video too, when it does hit, I don't know which one will drop first. I'm shooting 2 videos at once. So yes, I'm moving them back and forth because of my rig and my lighting. Everything's over here for now, and I'm not up to setting up for filming at the stove. All right, so I gave this a good stir. It's up to a rolling boil, and now I'm letting it go. I will come back in about 6 minutes and start checking, and so will you. When I check, you check. Okay, heat's off. It's been about 9 minutes for me, and I try to go in, I try to find me a big hump. I got a couple of them in here, so he's good. Now I'm not going to sit here and dilly-dally. Some of my smaller pieces are falling apart. That's all right, because that'll just thicken everything up. I'm going to immediately drain these. I'm going to rinse them with cold water. Then I'm just going to set them aside, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so this is 6 tablespoons of butter. Mine's kind of mushy and room temp. I've got half a cup of flour. Look, the recipe's down below. Remember, I'm making a double recipe. The actual recipe for fewer potatoes would be down below, okay? So just remember that. So it looks like I'm adding in a lot, but do what I'm doing underneath in the description box. Not necessarily, unless you've got a large family and you are doubling it. You wouldn't go by this. Okie dokie, I'm gonna get this melted. Okay, my butter's almost there. And again, I've got milk. If you really want to be decadent, you could actually back off a little on the milk and add a little bit of half and half. But hey, it's been hard getting heavy cream in half and half lately, if you hadn't noticed. So I'm using milk. I got flour. I've got some parsley flakes. Yes, I'm using dried parsley flakes. Why? Because I am. Everybody's a chef with all their fresh stuff. No, you're not. And not in this economy, you're not. So, yep, I said it. And here's some salt. Okay, butter's ready. So just like we would be making a gravy. I'm just going to sprinkle my flour in. I've switched to my little ball whisk here. And I'm not going to make you suffer through watching me stir flour and butter in a pan. I'll bring you back in 2 minutes. How about that, when we're going to add in the milk? Okay, I'll see you then. Alrighty, it's been a couple of minutes. Remember, I'm not trying to make a full-blown roux here. You notice how loose this is. That's fine, because I'm kind of using the flour mainly as a thickener. Alright, so next I'm going to put in some parsley. That's optional. You do not have to do that. You don't have to add it in at all. And if you want fresh, by all means, chop it up and use it. Alright, I'm adding a little over a teaspoon of salt, kind of like a rounded teaspoon, and then of course I'll salt it to taste. Now I'm just giving that a quick mix, and in goes our milk. Give it a good stir. Now this is going to have to come up to heat. I'm just making a thick flavored cream sauce. Alright, we'll come back. I'm going to let this come up to heat some. We're not ready. In the meantime, I had my potatoes in a colander, and I've already put them back into something I can bring back over to the table. Okay. Alright, as you can see, I brought this up to heat, and I brought it up to heat on a medium flame, and then I've just kind of kept it medium to low. And as you can see, and I'm going to try to get the camera at a different angle so you can see, this is not meant to be quite as thick as a gravy, but it's very thick. I don't know if you can see that, how that's running off the silicone spoon. That is thick. Let me try to, here, I'll just use this little bowl here. Maybe you can see this better. Here, I'll just try to use this little prep bowl I had. Look, I'll try to come up to the camera. Here, you can probably see it better if I pour it back to the spoon. It's really nice and thick. Alright, so that means it's done. So I'm going to take this off the heat. I've got to switch some stuff around because I've got the potatoes ready in a bowl. I'm going to bring them back. I don't normally mix them in this bowl. I'm going to mix them in, but I think you can see it better. Okay, let me switch around. We'll come right back. It's probably more trouble for me to have to switch stuff around on the set than it is. Well, here, I'll just leave that in there. Alright, in real life, this would already have been done. Alright, and then I'm just going to pour this in. I like to use my little silicone spatula to get everything out, get all that goodness out and flavor. Num, 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 num. And I hope you can see how thick that is. It's nice. And then, here's the trick. You don't want to, you've got your potatoes, they're done. And I did want to make note. I'll make note below. When I sprayed these off with cold water, I did not immerse them in cold water. I literally just took my sprayer just enough to stop that cooking process. That's all I did. They weren't soaked, and I was very gentle with them. I moved them around with a spatula and just kind of sprayed around. All right, now look. And these are going to thicken upon standing, because normally about this time, and in real life, I've got cornbread in the oven right now. My ham is ready, and the beans are almost ready. The butter beans, which, you know, I don't know which video is going to drop first, but it's going to be one of the two. It's going to be cream potatoes, and then in another video, butter beans, even though I'm doing them at the same time. Now look at that. I want you to see this. This is beautiful, y'all, and it's even going to get a little thicker as it rests now that I've got it mixed. Okay, well, I'm going to finish up by showing you a plate. So don't go away. You want to see this plate. Trust me. And the only thing I said in the beginning of one of the videos, butter beans or this one, I don't know. But the only thing missing is a wedge of cantaloupe and a fresh garden fresh slice of tomato with some salt and pepper. But there is, and I may have said fried okra, but yeah, fried squash or fried okra is missing from this meal, but I just am not up to it at all. So anyway, I'll put a link up here somewhere, right there I think. I'll put a link to my fried squash video. No, I hadn't done a fried okra video. It's on the list with everything else. All right, y'all. That's all there is to it. And it just changes your potatoes up. It's good. It's just very, very good and very, very easy. Okay. I'll see you when I'm showing you a plate. I wish you were coming over and I was feeding you supper. How's that look, y'all? It's every bit as good as it looks. That's some good eating right there. I just got a little butter. This cornbread's so hot, it's just melting on there. And look at that. So good. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Love y'all. And I'll see you next time. Bye.